RV parks may deny your reservation even after you've made it. Today we're talking about the 5 instances where that might happen, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Thank you so much for being here today, and a huge shout out to RV Masterclass, a program that we are instructors of, offering courses on boondocking 101, preparing to full-time, and RV buyers bootcamp. Recommend you guys check that out. Very cool. But let's get into today's topic. It's all about being denied an RV park reservation. This may happen before you reserve it, being denied to make it, or in even some situations, you may be denied upon arriving to an RV park. Let's be clear, this isn't very common, but the one time it happens to you, it will be burned into your memory. So you don't want it to happen. There are preemptive things we can do to make sure this doesn't happen. And that's what we're gonna go over today, as well as the 5 reasons why you might be denied. If at any time the info's going too quick, I'll link a blog article below. It has all the same info. You can bookmark it for future reference. First and foremost, I think it's very important to make clear that an open and honest line of communication is one of the most essential pieces to any of these things that might come up as far as RV park denials. You don't want to stretch the truth or tell a little lie about the size, the age of your rig, how many people are in your party, your dog. Be very upfront and very clear with an RV park as you make the reservation. That's just going to make sure that you don't run into a bad situation. The first way you might be denied at an RV park is because of your age. There are many RV parks, specifically in Florida and Arizona, where you have to be 55 or older to stay there. This is legal. The RV parks have full right to deny anyone under 55. This is the way it was written into law because the RV parks are aimed to cater towards the specific needs of senior citizens, and that's how they can get around it. But because that law and that rule exists, RV parks can deny you if you are under the age of 55. Some of those RV parks that you might run across will allow you to stay there if a certain percentage of their guests are under the age of 55, but that's not even the rule either. They can just straight out deny you. And for us, we've stayed at over 55 parks before. It's been a fine experience. We definitely don't seek that out, but just keep that in mind as you're making RV park reservations. The second way you might be denied at an RV park is because of your RV's age. So not only your age is it that matters, it's also your RV's age. There's something called the 10-year rule that prohibits RVs that are 10 years or older from making a reservation or staying at an RV park. As you see behind us, our Airstream, 1979. Previously to that, we had a Fiberstream from 85. We've always been aware of the 10-year rule. Many of the times we've worked our way around it. With the 10-year rule, RV parks want to maintain the look of their facility and keep out the riffraff. So many RVers have an issue with this because 10 years is truly not that old. A 10-year-old RV can be very well maintained, and you would think that it was only 5 or 3 years old. And RVs are expensive, so not everyone has the money to go out and buy a new RV every 10 years. It's a controversial rule. We found that most of the time, if we want to make a reservation at an RV park that has this rule, they'll ask for pictures, we'll show them, they'll let us in. But it still gets underneath our skin, irks us a little bit, and it gives us a reason not to patronize those businesses. So keep that in mind. Usually on the website, it's very clear that this rule exists. The next reason you may be denied an RV park reservation, and this can be very problematic upon arrival at times, is the breed of your dog. Many RV parks prohibit what they call aggressive dog breeds to stay at their campground. It all depends on their insurance policy. It's usually not because the RV park wants to have this policy, but rather the insurance policy that they're a part of prohibits certain breeds of dogs. This is one of the situations where I would say never try to sneak around this rule. You do not want to get to an RV park, have a reservation, get set up, stay for 2 days, only to have the manager come knock on your door and say, guys, you gotta leave, we can't have XYZ breed of dog here. Usually it's something like pit bulls, Dobermans, very stereotypical, what they call aggressive dogs. Our dog River is a boxer mix. which sometimes can be considered too big if they have a weight limit, but it's never been a huge issue. But I would definitely keep an eye on it and never try to work your way around it. If an RV park even seems like they'll have a problem with your dog being there, I would recommend getting a site at another RV park and not even trying to work your way around that rule, because they will ask you to leave if the dog was misrepresented upon the reservation creation. So keep in mind, your dog's breed can be a factor. The number 4 reason why your RV may be denied, and this is gonna happen in this situation once you get to the RV park, and it'd be very unfortunate, is that your RV is leaky and needs external maintenance. So no one wants to see an RV leaking, because the first thing we're all gonna think of is that it's your black water leaking, whether it's your black, your gray, or maybe just condensation from your air conditioner dripping down. Be aware that a leaky RV is gonna raise red flags for an RV park. This is mostly gonna be noticed if the park you're staying at has a concrete or cement pad or a paved pad, where leaks become very apparent. If you're staying at a resort with a very nice cement pad and you have a puddle that's been collecting over a few days, there is a chance the RV park will ask you to leave, because maintenance is important. No one wants a leaky black tank. Even if that's not what it is, people might assume that. And the last and final way why your reservation might be denied at an RV park is that you have too many kids or too many vehicles. Every RV park has capacity rules per site. It might be 4, it might be 6, it might be 8. You have to check with the policy. Most likely it'll be found online what the capacity for each site is. So if you're having 6 people stay with you, make sure that's what you communicate to the RV park upon the reservation being made. The other situation would be that RV parks allow more than 4 people per site, but they charge per guest after that. Don't try to ease your way around that rule. Be very clear and either pay that rate or don't have as many people on the site. So overall, these things are not likely to happen. If you're honest and have open communication with the RV park, they're even less likely to happen. So just know the rules upon booking and make sure that you're upfront with the RV park managers. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Also, remember, I got that article linked below. If you want to bookmark this or share it with your friends, you can click that link and save it to your web browser. All right, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Later on.